Welcome to First Parish in Waltham. We are so glad you're here. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. My name is Deb Jose. My pronouns are she, her. I'm wearing my pride earrings today. And let's see, I'm white and 70. Good enough. Here are this week's announcements. We try to make our service as accessible as possible with hearing helpers and large print versions of service materials available from our ushers. This week's newsletter highlights several upcoming events, including Pride next week, Summer Consortium, and Tuesday Tea Talks with April. Copies are available at the entrances to the building. To receive an emailed copy each week, please speak to a greeter. A questionnaire about the upcoming church year was included in the newsletter. Few replies, like 2 so far, have been received. Please consider responding if you have not already done so, as it will help the board plan and shape priorities for next year, and thank you. The annual general meeting is at 12 noon. Following a brief refreshment break, there will be lunch and dessert served in Whitcomb Hall. New board members will be appointed. No, there aren't any. Only members may vote, but all are invited to attend. Upcoming memorial services. John Breen passed away. His memorial is tomorrow, June 8th at 10:30 here in the sanctuary. Nancy Carnelia's service is next Saturday, June 13th at 11 in the chapel. Following her service, there will be a reception in Whitcomb Hall with catering from Brelundi, one of Nancy's favorite places to eat. Waltham Pride Festival is Sunday, June 14th. Join us for worship and refreshments. Then consider heading to the Common with the rest of us who are looking forward to attending the event. Join us here on Sunday, June 21st, for our General Assembly service. The community sing begins at 10:30, followed by worship at 11 in the chapel. Bring your own refreshments for consumption in the Harrington room after the service. There will be nibbles. This is the end of today's announcement. Take a moment to check you've silenced your phone and other communication devices. Please turn around and wave to the lovely people who are joining us via Zoom. Our video camera is just to the right of the exit sign over the door.
We come from different homes, different paths, different worries, different hopes. But we all came to the same space this morning for the same reason, whether we know it or not. We came to remember that we do not have to carry this life alone. Here we learn to flourish together by choosing again and again and again to show up for one another. I'm so grateful you're here again and again and again. Welcome, and let us worship. My name is April Rosario. I am a Black woman in my late 30s with shoulder-length dreadlocks, and I am wearing my official flower communion dress. It is a floor-length dress covered in flowers, and Liam dubbed it my flower communion dress when he was 2, and I have worn it every year since. In just a moment, I am going to invite up our worship committee, our entire worship committee, who has put so much work into this year to light our chalice. The chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. And just as we have all come to this space this morning to remember that we do not have to go through life alone, Unitarian Universalist congregations across the world are meeting at some point today, lighting a chalice, remembering the same thing. So while we are not doing life alone, know that there are people in every corner of the world who are sharing in your life with you. And with that, I would like to invite up our worship committee to light this morning's chalice.
We are Unitarian Universalists who put love at the center of our lives.
We light this chalice today as a reminder that, like flowers in a garden, we are each unique, yet we grow together.
May this flame shine with the light of freedom, the warmth of community, and the beauty of diversity.
Flower communion teaches us that each person is a gift, that our differences make us stronger, and that together we create something beautiful.
As we gather in this sacred moment, may we honor the freedom to bloom as we are, the responsibility to nurture each other's growth, and the joy of sharing love like flowers in the sun.
May our hearts be open, may our hands be generous, and may our spirits bloom with kindness and justice.
Come, let us celebrate Flower Communion, a ceremony of love, hope, and belonging. Do you want me to light it?
Thank you all so much. And now I would like to invite you to move into our opening hymn in whatever way it makes the most sense for you. Sing with gusto, dance in the aisle, clap along, or just listen and be in community with us. I invite you now to rise, embody your spirit as you're willing and able, and join us in our opening hymn, number 346, Come Sing a Song With Me, found in the gray hymnal and on your screen. As you remain standing, if you would like to, I invite you now to join me in our unison affirmation, really leaning into the words that make sense for you. You'll find the words in your order of service and on our screen, and they begin with the word love. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak truth in love, and to help one another. Please be seated. I feel so honored and so blessed to serve as your Director of Faith Formation. And when I tell people, when they ask me, what do you do for work? I say, I'm a Director of Faith Formation at First Parish in Waltham. And I often get asked a question. And it's usually this, especially if people know what Unitarian Universalism is. The question is, well, I don't understand. If Unitarian Universalism draws on all of the world's faith traditions and has no creed and doesn't require a single understanding of God or the holy or the sacred, then is there anything uniquely you? Do you have anything that is just yours? Most people assume the answer is no. And I love to say, yes, we do. Lots of things, in fact. And today we are celebrating one of those very special, uniquely UU things. Flower communion, or flower ceremony, or flower service. The name has changed over the years, especially congregation to congregation. But it started as flower communion, a beloved ritual more than 100 years ago. And over the past 100 years, it has become a cherished tradition that Unitarian Universalist congregations celebrate around the world in June. But how did it start? That's the story I want to share with you today. And unfortunately, because it is a true story and one of ours, we aren't going to start it with once upon a time, because I know exactly when in time it started. It started in 1923 in Prague, Czechoslovakia, with a Unitarian minister named Norbert Kapak. Now, a little background before the story starts. It's important to know that Reverend Kapak was not always a Unitarian. As a child, he was raised Catholic, but as he grew older, he began to question some of the Catholic faith, and then began to question even more when his questions didn't have answers, or couldn't or wouldn't be answered. So he did the only thing he knew what to do. He studied, and he read, and he wrestled with the big life questions. By the time he was an adult, he was pretty set in his understanding of faith. And those around him were pretty set that he was wrong, because his beliefs had become incredibly liberal, radical, in fact, for his time. He became convinced that the true faith of the Czech people was what he called a free faith. And he called it that because he didn't have a name for it. But the way he understood it, the way he defined it, the way he explained it to people was a spiritual path that honored individual conscience and built a community through love. Around 1910, he discovered Universalism and Unitarianism, and immediately fell in love and found his spiritual home. For years, he dreamed of creating a Unitarian church in Prague. And eventually, that dream came true. He and his wife built a church from the ground up in 1921. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear a story, I often picture it in my mind. And so when I say he and his wife built a church, some of you might be picturing what that church looked like. You might be picturing something grand and beautiful, something that feels warm and homey, kind of like this. And you would be wrong. The church that he and his wife built looked nothing like this church, or maybe any church you have ever been in. It didn't have a bell or a tall steeple reaching to the sky. It didn't have massive wooden doors. It didn't have beautiful windows. It certainly didn't have any stained glass. It didn't have a piano or a chalice or flowers. It didn't have cushions on the seat. It definitely didn't have toys and coloring sheets and yoga mats. Certainly didn't have a Zoom camera. And it definitely did not have coffee and snacks afterwards. No. This church had 4 walls, a ceiling, a floor, a door, 2 windows, and chairs. Very hard, wooden, creaky, uncomfortable chairs. And it didn't matter. Not one bit to Reverend Kapak. What mattered was that there were people. Because without people, a church, no matter how grand and beautiful, is just a building. And every Sunday, people filled those wooden chairs, as uncomfortable as they might have been. They filled them, and they listened carefully and quietly. You see, they were searching for something. The people of Prague had just been through incredibly hard times. They had just lived through 4 years of a war. Many had lost loved ones, many had gone hungry, many were frightened and remained frightened. And even though the war was over, their pain had not disappeared. People were still carrying sadness and worry and grief. And for 2 years, they showed up, sat in the wooden chairs, as Reverend Kapak stood before them every Sunday. He preached, he prayed, he offered words of comfort and hope. The people would listen. Sometimes they would nod. And when the service was over, they would gather their things, maybe say a few words amongst themselves, and then head home. No music, no candles, no shared meal, not much joy. Reverend Kapak knew something was missing. They were showing up, They were listening, but was he giving them everything he could? One spring morning at the end of May, to be exact, Reverend Capek was walking to church, and an idea struck him, seemingly out of nowhere. You see, he had stopped along his traditional route to notice that the birds were singing, the flowers were blooming, and sun was shining on his face. And he thought to himself, even through everything, this world is still a beautiful one. Maybe that's what I need to remind people. And so he arrived at church. People sat in the uncomfy chairs. He preached and he prayed. And at the very end, before releasing everyone, he made a request. He said, next Sunday, I would like each of you to bring a flower, a fern, or perhaps a budding branch. His congregation was very confused. What kind, what color, what size, why? Are you sure? What is this for? They asked. Reverend Capek just smiled. What kind, what color, what size? You choose, he said. Each of you is free to choose what you like. Why and what for? Well, you'll have to come back next week to find out. And so the next Sunday, June 4th, 1923, people came carrying flowers and ferns and budding branches in every color and shape and size you could imagine. And they placed them in pitchers that had been set out. And once again, they took their seats in the hard wooden chairs. But this time there was a little more chatter, a little more pointing, a little more life. Reverend Capek smiled. And he preached and he prayed. And at the end of his sermon, he pointed to the flowers that were in front of the congregation. And he said, these flowers are just like us. Different colors, different shapes, different sizes. They have come from different places. They have thrived through different environments. They each require different care. They each have different needs. And each is beautiful, important, special, and delightful in its own way. Just like us, he said. And then he offered the congregation a blessing. He blessed the flowers and he blessed the people. He asked that everyone there see one another as family, despite their differences. You see, the congregation was made up of people of multiple faith traditions, their houses of worship having been destroyed in the war. He invited them to let the spirit of love unite them and help them live more joyfully and in connection with one another. And when the service ended that day, people did not rush out quite so quickly. They stayed a little longer, they chatted a little more. Kids played and giggled, and the adults giggled right back. Reverend Capek was delighted at what was occurring around him. And finally, as people started to leave, he gave them one final invitation. He said, take a flower with you, but not the one you brought. Take a different flower, a gift from your church family, a reminder that we belong to one another, a reminder that joy can be found in community, even on the hardest days. And so the people did. And that day, a little more than 100 years ago, Flower Communion was born. And each year, when summer began, they did it again and again and again. And eventually, the ritual caught on, and Unitarian churches nearby started adopting it. And it grew further out and further out and further out. And now, in June, usually the first or second Sunday of the month, Unitarian Universalist churches and Unitarian and Universalist churches, because they still have them separate, celebrate Flower Communion. something that is deeply ours. A reminder that ours is a faith centered in love and built on community. The end. Your challenge this week, and in the days and weeks to come, is a simple one. Remember to find the joy in community. Remember to bring the flowers where you go. Be the flower that someone else needs. And know you are not alone. And with that, I invite you now to join in our second hymn, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth, also found in your gray hymnal and on your screen. Please be seated.
This is the time in our service when we invite you to come forward and talk about a joy that you have in your life so that we all can share it with you, or share a concern so that we can help you bear the difficulty of that concern. My name is Nancy, my partner is Plum, and together we invite you all. We will light a candle for whoever would like to have the concern stated here.
No. Oh, and one more candle for the things that we are not ready to talk about.
And I have a joy to share, and I've got helpers to help me share the joy. My name is Deb Jose, and I want to share a big joy with all of you. We survived a really difficult year without a minister. While we have been dealing with healing and transitioning, we've added new members, some today. Because of many challenging and beautiful conversations, because of the hope we have demonstrated as we have shown up week after week, I'd like to nominate all of us for the Good Cookie Award. Yay us. I spent Friday making 12 dozen cookies, so you're each about to get one. To our members and friends online, Kayla will have a basket of cookies to get to you all. Our wonderful youth are going to distribute a cookie bag to each one of you. FYI, they are vegan, nut and gluten-free, no dairy, no eggs. They do have brown sugar. Since it's impossible to have a cookie and not eat it, for some of us, please feel free just today to eat your cookie here in the sanctuary, and to help out KJ, please throw away the wrappers as you head out. Yay us.
My friends that are handing them out, don't forget to head up to the bell tower.
And over here to the...
Thank you.
And Emma gets one. Hello.
I think they got Emma and Dan.
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you.
My guess is that we have a contest to see who can launch their cookie up the stairs. Before we head into our flower communion prayer and meditation, I want to invite us to reflect on something really beautiful about being human. That there are so many ways to connect with the sacred, and so many understandings of what the sacred is. Around the world, people pray, meditate, give thanks, and seek meaning in countless different ways. Some light candles, some sing songs, some kneel, some bow, some sit in silence. Some offer words of prayer. Some, like me, made sure at the age of 3 they were in their PJs kneeling by their bed, not knowing what they were saying, but they were doing the thing anyway. Some offer movement, breath, music, or touch. Another uniquely Unitarian Universalist truth is that we honor diversity and the understanding that we all connect in different ways. We do not believe that there is only one right way to experience wonder, gratitude, or connection. Just as a garden needs many different flowers, the human spirit finds meaning through many different practices. And so today, in true April fashion, I'm going to invite you to step, jump, or just kind of tiptoe outside of your comfort zone as we try something a little bit different. Rather than listening or speaking only, we are going to engage in a full body practice, prayer and meditation, a way of grounding ourselves in this moment through gentle movement, breath, and shared presence. This practice is not about doing anything perfectly. There is no right or wrong way to participate. You are invited to engage in whatever way feels comfortable and meaningful for you, whether that is fully, whether that is with adapted movements, whether that is to remain seated, or just simply to observe. So, as we prepare for flower communion, may this practice help remind us that we are not only connected through ideas and words, but through our bodies, Through our presence and our shared humanity, like flowers in a garden, we each bring our own colors, shapes, and gifts. And today, we move together freely to honor growth and beauty and love that is shared in this community. So, with that in mind, I invite those that are willing and able to stand. It can be in your pew, it can be out in the aisle, however you want to do this. If you're seated, that is also fine. And now, I invite you to firmly plant your feet on the floor, like roots of a strong flower. Take in a deep breath and feel the strength of the earth beneath you. As you exhale, I invite you to wiggle your toes and imagine roots stretching down through the soles of your feet and the floor and the foundation into the soil. And I invite you to repeat after me. We are grounded in love.
We are grounded in love.
And connected to one another.
And connected to one another.
Slowly lift your arms up like a growing flower, reaching towards the sunlight. Stretch your fingers wide and imagine soaking up all the warmth and light around you. Slowly sway side to side like a flower in the breeze. And again, repeat after me. We grow by reaching.
We grow by reaching.
Toward light and love.
Light and love.
Now, careful of your neighbors, open your arms wide. See this as an offering of your bloom to the world. Imagine scattering seeds of kindness as you gently move your arms outward, side to side. Look around, smile at someone nearby. A simple way of sharing your light. And again, repeat after me. Like flowers, we give our beauty.
We give our beauty.
Our love. And our kindness to the world. And now, to really stretch, tiptoe out of that comfort zone, let your body move freely in whatever way makes sense to you. A dance, a twirl, a joyful shake. Imagine yourself again as a blooming flower, fully open and radiant, fully loved for everything you are. Let this movement be an expression of joy, connection, and gratitude. And repeat after me one last time. Together, we create a garden of love, beauty, freedom, and hope. And now as you take your final deep breath, know that you are held and you are not alone. Please have a seat. And as you do, I would like to invite up Deb Jose, our president, and Michael Williams and Jen for our new member ceremony.
Today we welcome into our community our new members, Jen and Michael, who have chosen to make a commitment to this congregation by signing our membership book. We're so glad to have you here with us, and that you have chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with you on your life's journeys and added your names to the long history of people who spread hope with our living faith. We are not a faith built on creed, but instead built on covenant, and today we covenant with both of you. Will you accept our gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts And will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to love and justice? If so, please say we will. Congregation, please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and able to. Will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts they bring to us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? If so, please say we will.
We will.
May we all be blessed by our commitment to this community, but most importantly, our commitment to love. And I have presents, Joe, don't go away. As we prepare to celebrate Flower Communion, I'm reminded that this beautiful tradition began with an act of generosity. Our offering is much the same. Each of us brings what we can, our time, our talents, our care, and our financial gifts. Alone, any one gift may seem small, but when we place them together, they become something beautiful. They create worship services, faith formation programs, pastoral care, community outreach, and a spiritual home where all are welcome. Like flowers gathered into one bouquet, our individual gifts combine to create something none of us could create alone. As we receive this morning's offering, may we give with grateful hearts, knowing that what we share today helps nurture this beloved community and the people who will enter through its doors in the days and years to come. Let us generally give and gratefully receive this morning's offering. Will the ushers please come forward? This is a fun morning. The 2026 Hinckley Award the Hinckley Award provides us an opportunity each year to both honor a current member of this congregation and to recall a man who lived out the meaning of service to our First Parish community. Today we remember Dan Hinckley, who was a member of First Parish for barely 15 years before his death from cancer in 1992. He suffered several personal setbacks, and when he lost his job and suddenly found himself retired, he poured his heart into service to the congregation. We remember Dan Hinckley for his caring leadership, friendliness, willing to help with projects large and small, his warm hug, and the way he had of making everyone feel special. He was an inspiration to all who knew him, and this award was created and presented while Dan still lived. We honor his memory with this award. Thank you to our Hinckley Award Committee, made of former awardees, for the award and also for the write-up which follows. We received several nominations for really great folks among us. Please note that the committee continued the tradition of awarding this honor to someone not currently serving on the board. This year's Hinckley Award winner has helped us get through this, as the committee said, monster of a year by leading the worship committee as they produced so many wonderful services. She worked with the worship team tirelessly and patiently to get this done without a murmur of complaint, and with it being unclear what her role was going to morph into. She has also served as Music and Worship Commissioner, Chair of the Committee on Ministry, and the Nominating Committee. She has been an unofficial mainstay of those committees and of the First Parish community in general for nearly 20 years. Committed to social justice work, she is a wise woman who listens without judgment, thinks before she speaks, and communicates clearly, thoughtfully, and with loving kindness. She is a person who models UU values in everything she does. Of course, she has also graced us by filling the sanctuary with her angelic voice as part of the choir, leading us in hymn rounds, and especially as a member of the fabulous First Parish Trio with Katie and Carla. It is with great pleasure that I present this year's Dan Hinckley Award to R.B. Fortin.
I'm so glad this is my tribe, and I'm yours and you're mine. Thank you.
As I mentioned in my story, Flower Communion is uniquely ours as Unitarian Universalists. And it is one of my favorite rituals because it reminds us of something both simple and deeply sacred. As Bea just pointed out, we belong to one another. When we look at a garden, we do not ask every flower to be the same. We do not demand that every bloom be the same color or same height or open in the same season or time of day. In fact, a garden becomes more beautiful because of its diversity. The contrast is what creates beauty. The variety is what allows a garden to thrive. And yet, as human beings, we often struggle with this truth. Again and again, our world tells us that there is only one right way to be, one right way to speak, to love, to learn, to worship, to move through the world. And too often, people are made to feel that they must hide parts of themselves in order to belong. Too often, difference is treated as something to fear instead of something to celebrate. But our faith, Unitarian Universalism, calls us towards another way, invites us towards another way, demands that we reach towards another way. Unitarian Universalism teaches that every person carries inherent worth and dignity, not because they have earned it, not because they fit in, not because they are useful or successful or easy to understand in one specific box. Every person matters simply because they are human, because they are part of this great interconnected web of existence. And interconnectedness means one thing: none of us bloom alone. The person sitting beside you has shaped your life in ways you may have never fully known, and you have shaped theirs in turn. A kind word, a welcoming smile, a moment of patience, an act of courage. These are things that ripple outward. We become who we are through relationships. The deep ones, the surface ones, and the ones that last half a second. We grow because we make room for others, and others make room for us. And we heal because others walk beside us. This is what our ritual this morning celebrates. Today, we have placed our flowers on altars, tables, whatever you want to call those things, in front of us. We have placed them in vases of different shapes and different sizes. But we will not leave them there. Instead, we will place these flowers into another's hands, because they are a manifestation of love, and love is not meant to sit on an altar and be seen from afar. Community is not something we merely observe. It is something we actively create. This year's ritual will highlight something very important, as every one of us will both actively give and receive, because healthy community requires both. There are times in life when one offers beauty, encouragement, and care, and there are times in life where we receive it. Neither role is more sacred than the other. And just as no single flower can create a garden alone, no single person can create beloved community alone. We need each other, all of us. We need the loud and the quiet voices. We need the young and the old, the joyful and the grieving, the certain and the questioning, the people who have been here for decades and the people who have walked through their doors for the very first time this morning. Each one of us adds something essential. May this ritual remind us that inclusion is not simply about allowing people into the garden, but recognizing that the garden cannot fully exist without each one of them. May it be so. In just a moment, I'm going to ask all of you that are willing and able to stand and make 2 lines on the outsides of the pews. So similar to we do for Joys and Sorrows, but we're just going to use both spaces, or both sides of the sanctuary. And you'll make your way to the tables in front. The first person in each line will choose a flower. They will then turn to the person behind them and offer that flower as a gift. I also invite you to offer a blessing in some way. It can be as simple as thank you for being a part of this community, I see you, whatever you want to say, whatever is in your heart for the person behind you. There is, again, no right or wrong way to offer a blessing. As each person receives a flower, they will then move up to the table, pick a flower, turn around, and hand it to the person behind them. We're gonna try to get the lines similar sizes, but if one line finishes and another line keeps going, just, keep going with that line as well. Once you have your flower, and you have given a blessing to the person behind you, you will then make your way down the center of the aisle, back to your seat. That way all of our folks on Zoom can also see the flowers and be part of this ritual as well. Does that make sense? Any questions? Yes? No. Deb and I are going to give a flower to the very first people in line. That is a great question. Any other questions? Fantastic. I invite you all now into this year's Flower Communion. Please make your lines. Jacob, could you put our folks on Zoom on the screen so Deb and I can choose flowers for them as well? Thank you. Perfect. Go for it.
Okay. Peter, you're in the upper left of my screen. Here's a flower. I'm glad you're in my life.
Jonathan, this one's for you. We are so glad that you're with us every Sunday. This purple flower is for you.
And Rebecca, I think that's you online. This
Rose.
Who? Rose. Rose. Okay, you're not getting a rose. You're getting any botanists here? Poppy? This poppy is for you, Rose. I'm glad you all are in my life. Thank goodness we're all together.
Do you want to introduce the next hymn? Do you want to introduce the last hymn? Okay. And with that, we invite you all to rise, embody your spirit, and join us in our closing hymn, which is what our choir sang. Yes, which is what our choir sang as the prelude. Words will be on the screen. Leave this space today, may we remember, we were never meant to bloom alone. May we continue creating communities where every person is welcomed, every gift is honored, and every life is treated as essential. May we carry that beauty into the world. May we nurture one another with compassion and courage. May we help grow a garden wide enough for all. Go in peace, go in love, and go knowing that you are a beautiful and necessary part of the garden of life.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for the beautiful music. And now we're offering you lunch. There is a quick lunch. We're going to have a quick lunch in Whitcomb Hall. And then we're going to have our meeting also in Whitcomb Hall. So grab a lunch, find a seat, and we're going to get started by 12 so that we can progress and you can get out and enjoy this beautiful Sunday afternoon. That's the plan. Let's go.